shit. Like
Oh.
literally zero things. So, I
Uh-oh.
mean, we'll see. You know, maybe it'll hit tonight because I had a doctor's appointment scheduled for tomorrow morning that they canceled and want me to reschedule because they're doing a late start tomorrow.
Mm.
And then I had a client who started blowing up my phone on Thursday morning. So tell me what you think about this. So I actually did her hair. At this point, it's been like 2 weeks ago. She's really young. Um, she might be 20, maybe. Like
Okay.
super high anxiety, like kind of socially awkward. I do the whole family's hair. So she came and she did a consultation first. She's like a natural level 6. This actually will roll right into the color theory if you want to go there because I saw that was on
Okay.
the list. So she's a natural level 6, but as apparently as she's gotten older, she feels like her hair's kind of gotten darker. And it used to be a level 6 with like some red undertones,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's just like an ashy level 6 with no red undertones.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, she really wants to color her hair. And she's showing me pictures of her hair. Of course, the pictures have filters because Lord forbid we take a picture with no filter.
Right.
Um, but so she showed me pictures of her hair like back in the day when it used to have like red undertone, like an auburn undertone, right?
Mm.
She just wants to go back to her natural. She doesn't want it to look dramatic at all. She like just wants the red undertone put back in her hair. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes in. I do like a 6 RB, a 6 red brown, which is pretty much the same across color lines, right? Just like a 6 with some auburn undertones to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very subtle, but I told her during the consultation that it was going to be very subtle because you're already a 6. You're
Yeah.
staying a 6, you know what I mean? So I told her it was
Right.
going to be subtle. And then we did like a balayage application because she's like, I don't want there to be a line as it's growing out. Cool. Okay. So we did it. We get done. She's like taking selfies. She's like feeling very much like a bad bitch. She goes home and like during the during the appointment, she's telling me about this boy, this situationship that like they've broken up because he was being wishy-washy, but I guess
Mm-hmm.
they're like back in touch.
Mm-hmm.
And when she told him that she wanted to color her hair, that he was feeling some type of way about it. And she was going to go and see him after this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So she's loving her hair when she leaves. A few hours, like that night, like I want to say like maybe 10 o'clock that night, she's texting me and she's like, I just can't really tell a difference, like blah, 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 blah. And it's like I can tell that she's like plugged this into AI and like had AI like spit out this, thing that she's sent to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, okay, well, I've got time on such and such a day at such and such a time if you want to come in and like let's look at it together. Like, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna do the back and forth on the phone, like because
Yeah.
this is my time and my time costs money. Like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
So I've got time on this day and this time. Like, let's take a look at it, right? So it was like that upcoming Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So literally on Saturday, she's texting me and she's like, how long do you think it's going to take? Because blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, I don't really know because we need to like get together and look at the pictures that you showed me and like
Right.
have a whole nother,
We can
consultation
talk about
again.
it. Mm-hmm.
Because in my mind, I don't need to do shit. I did what you wanted me to do. It looks exactly like
Right.
what we talked, like literally exactly like what we talked about. But because it's
Mm-hmm.
not this huge dramatic thing, now it's a problem. But you very specifically told me you didn't want a huge dramatic thing. Okay. So anyway, Saturday she doesn't show up and she basically doesn't tell me until like she's supposed to be there. So I'm like, but she had like sent me some stuff earlier that made it seem like it was wishy-washy, but I'm working. It's Saturday. I'm busy. So like I didn't see it until now she's supposed to be here. So when I see her message, I try to call her. She sends me to voicemail and then texts me and says, well, I can't talk right now. Is it okay if I call you later? And I'm like, well, I'm just trying to find out if you're coming, you know.
Mhm.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I'm not coming. We're going to have to reschedule. So now she wants me to send her my appointments for the entire, for the rest of the month. I'm sorry, this is so long winded, but I'm so frustrated.
No.
So she wants me to send her appointments for the rest of the month, my like what I have available for the rest of the month, but she doesn't know her schedule. It's going to be like a week before she knows her schedule. And I'm like, well, there's no point in me giving you my schedule now if you're not going to know your schedule till next week because
Right.
somebody could book that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to hold
Yeah.
my entire book for you to figure your shit out.
No.
So long story longer, we end up scheduling an appointment for her for 9 o'clock this past Saturday. But on Thursday, because of this snowstorm, this is where all of this conversation is coming from. She starts texting me like, should we reschedule our that appointment, because of the weather? And I'm like, well, I think it's silly to reschedule it now when we don't even really know for sure what's going to happen. Like,
Right.
why don't we touch base Saturday morning? And she's like,
Yeah.
well, the appointment is Saturday at 9. So why don't we touch base Friday night? So I just told her, so I just left her on red. In fact, I didn't even respond because she's
Yeah.
pissing me off at this point. Like,
Yeah.
so Saturday afternoon, I'm looking at the forecast and at that point it's not even going to get below freezing until tonight, which is Sunday night.
Mhm.
So I just texted her and I'm like, hey, just so according to the forecast, it's not even going to get below freezing until Sunday night. So I plan to be in the salon Saturday as we previously scheduled. No
Right.
response, no response, no response. And then Friday night, she sends me a doctor's note saying that she's sick and she needs to cancel and she wants to reschedule. So now it's been 2.5 weeks since the original color that looks exactly like the fucking color that we talked about
Right.
during your
That she wanted.
consultation. Like, you're pissing me off.
Yeah.
So I'm like this close to just being like, you know what? You got the color you wanted and it's too fucking bad. And like, stop texting me.
Yeah. I don't blame you at all. Was she
And
like a
she
new
paid in cash. No, she's not a new client. I've done her hair before. In fact, so I do the whole family's hair. It's a mom and three girls. I do the whole family's hair. But I think
Mhm.
we've talked about her before. I've only done her hair specifically one other time. And
Mhm.
when I did her hair, she was sitting in the chair. This is the girl who was telling me, like, we're constantly talking about how men aren't shit and like we need to be concerned about men's mental health and like basically we just need to stop being so hard on men and boys because it's affecting their
Oh.
mental health. Like we've talked about her before. Like, do you remember that?
Yes. Mhm.
um
Yes.
so yeah, anyway, she's stressing me out and like now that you're a sweet owner,
Yeah.
if this was your client, what would you how would you handle this?
Um, it's a great question. I feel like maybe I am one of those people, I definitely give, like, too many chances.
Mhm.
So, I would probably and if she has, like, high anxiety and you do the whole family's hair, I would probably be a little bit more stern with my next message, be like, "Hey, this is the date I can do it. If you cancel, like,
Yeah, we're not
that's
gonna
it."
drag this out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna keep going
yeah.
back and forth.
And
Uh,
like what I told myself I was gonna do, because her whole thing is that she can't see like this huge dramatic difference. Like I said, even though she said she doesn't want a huge dramatic difference. So
right.
that's the point, babes. That means we hit the nail on the head.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I think what I decided I was gonna do is just like to like backcomb some really big sections and get like some skinny little baby lights pieces and
Mhm.
pre-lighten those and like tone them with like a coppery six. so that when when you comb everything back out, it still blends in, but it just gives you a little more razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
That was my thought, but I mean, I don't know because we have to talk about it and I have to get her okay
Yeah.
with that, which
Mhm.
and so yeah, that's the whole thing is like I'm with you. Like I try to give people chances because I understand, first of all, the older I get, the less patience I have. Like you're pissing me
Yeah.
off. But I know this about myself and I know I'm in customer service, so I'm like trying not to be, right, like that. But
Mhm.
also, like, no, for real, you're pissing me off.
Yeah.
And I don't want to
Set those
lose,
boundaries.
4 clients because, you know, but
Mhm.
also I very much coach people to like if someone's not working for you, like get them off of your books to make space for someone who is. So
Absolutely.
I need to be taking my own advice. Yeah, homegirl's pissing me off.
Did you use a permanent color?
When I did it,
Uh-huh.
originally, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just did
Sometimes
a permanent color with 20 volume.
yeah.
Yeah.
So nothing too crazy. Yeah,
Mhm.
sometimes with clients like that, I always like to do like a demi just because uh and of course it depends on like what demi brand you're using, but I feel like those have such a less like harsh like when it grows out because it just
Yeah.
eventually fades.
Yeah.
Um
I'm a huge fan of demis. And I'll tell you the reason that I didn't use a demi is because you can't lighten with a demi. You can stay the same or go darker.
right.
You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so that, yeah. So we'll have to talk. We will definitely have to talk about that.
Yeah, yeah, I'd be
I do
curious.
love a demi. Like any chance that I have to use a demi, I use Paul Mitchell the demi, and it's only a 20-minute tops processing time. That is my jam. Okay,
Mhm.
slide it on there. You get all that shine. Like it doesn't damage it. Like I
Right.
love a good demi gray blending is my jam.
Mhm.
Love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Even like, and I love your gray. I think your gray is pretty, but I know you had a red that you really loved. What if you did a like a Pulp Riot red or a Danger Jones red or something so that it only stains the gray? And
Yeah.
then, because what I love about the demi is it does stain the gray and it's a softer grow out, but it still stains it kind of permanently, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
never really goes all the way back to gray, which is
Mhm.
great for people that want like permanent gray blending. But if you want to eventually have like your gray hair back again, what do you think about a semi?
Yeah, definitely thinking
Right?
about it.
Yeah.
There's a girl in the suites that, she does, like, natural hair,
Mm-hmm.
and, I told her, I was like, "I wanna put myself on your books, and you can kinda just do whatever you want."
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I'm kinda like my hair grows fast, so I
Mm-hmm.
am kind of like, if she uses permanent, like,
It's not that big of a
I'll
deal.
yeah, it'll
Yeah.
grow out, I'll cut it out, whatever. Um, but yeah, I told her, I was like, "You can kinda do whatever you want. I don't wanna have to think about it.
I
You just do what
know.
you wanna do."
Same.
So I think I'm gonna do that in February, and
Okay.
I know she's gonna cut it. I definitely need, like, a cut, but I still wanna
Mm-hmm.
grow it because 'cause I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to have, like, long mermaid hair eventually.
Yes. I would love to do like if you sat in my chair and told me to do whatever I wanted, I would do like I would almost call it like the typical curly girl hair, like mixed girl curly girl haircut, but like that. It's like big and voluminous, the layers, that kind of
Mhm,
rounded layer curly girl cut with the curly bangs. Like I just feel like
mhm.
that shape would be so cute on your face.
Thanks. I have always liked, bangs, but you know what? Sometimes my issue is I have an undercut. And
Mm,
so
mhm.
sometimes I have to be careful about making, like, all of this super
Layers.
short. Yeah,
Mhm,
because, like, as of
mhm.
right now, this is just as long, if not longer, as, like, what
The
should
stuff
be my
underneath it.
longer pieces in the back.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So I go back and forth, like, do I grow it out? But it's like,
Yeah,
it's a lot of hair.
it's the yeah. And summer is coming in the
It's coming.
oppressive St.
Mhm.
Louis swamp.
Y Yes. And, like, my texture anyways, like, my halo is
Mhm,
a looser curl than, like, what's in my crown. Like,
mhm,
I have some pieces, like, deep in my crown that are probably 4B, maybe even 4C.
mhm.
Um, and it's just like, it's just too much back there.
Yeah, heard. Yeah, I had Key, as you can see, I had her do these, you probably have seen it on TikTok, the miracle braids, miracle knots or something, I don't know.
Cute.
But they're like individual box braids and you just, like crochet hair in. And,
Love.
I'm like, I just don't wanna have like you, I just don't wanna have to do shit. I just wanna wake up and it just is cute.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
have to deal with everyone else's hair. I don't wanna have to deal with mine. Sorry.
Literally,
Sorry. Hot take.
literally, not sorry. Not sorry. I'm
Hot
like,
take.
I want to hit snooze more than I
Literally.
wanna more than I wanna be cute, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yesterday, I only did this because, like, I know my client, but, like, yeah, we had the snow hit earlier than what I thought it was going to do yesterday, and so my first client was at 10, and I did kinda oversleep, so I think I actually, like, really got up around, like, 9:15, and yeah, and it started snowing, so I was like, "Hmm, I could go in
Mhm,
and do my day, but then I'd be stuck at work for hours because I'm not getting on the highway because
mhm,
it's gonna be a hot fucking mess, and it's gonna take me
mhm,
probably 4 hours to
mhm.
go 20 minutes."
Yeah.
And so I did call my client, and I normally wouldn't do this because I know it's kind of unprofessional, but I know her, and I did call her at 9:30. I was like, "Hey, girl, can we reschedule?"
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, you caught me, like, I was just about to leave," and I was like, "Oh, thank God."
Thank God.
'Cause she's one of those, like, she likes to go out and, like, do stuff before her appointment and then come in,
Mhm,
and so I was, like, really worried that she was already
mhm,
out, like, doing stuff, but she was like, "Oh, no, I was
mhm.
just about to leave." I was like, "I'm so sorry to do this, but, like, let's go ahead and reschedule." She was like, "Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, it totally makes sense."
yeah, yeah, love that. Love that. And I feel like the majority of your clients when you're in a suite, they're like you're for real people, and
Yes.
they really give a shit. You know,
It's
they're like,
Oh, yeah. It's
"Take care of your
definitely, like,
stuff."
made me a little emotional by, like, all the
Mhm,
support I've gotten, and, like,
mhm,
some people that have really, like, surprised me, and not
mhm,
thinking, like, they didn't like me or anything, but I was just like, "Oh
mhm.
my god," like, "but you like me this much to, like,
Yeah,
continue to follow me."
yeah.
I was just like, "This is crazy."
Yes, yes. Ah, so it's going well.
It's going very well, yes,
Good,
like, I've
good.
been because January and February can just be slow for us just in general.
Mhm.
But so far I'm had I think 50 appointments this month.
Amazing,
Yeah, so
amazing.
it's like I've been able to pay my bills and
Hey.
I've been able to like pay myself too, which has been like
Mhm,
good. Cause
mhm,
I will say, like, growing up and stuff, I haven't always been the best with money.
mhm.
So, like, cause I'm supposed to be a trust fund baby. I'm sorry.
Hello.
I'm
I don't know
supposed to
what glitched
come
in the
yeah.
matrix got
I'm
us fucked
supposed to
up.
come from generational wealth, not mental
Literally.
health. But clearly someone somewhere got it confused.
Mhm,
And so, yeah, like, and I just know that I'm expensive. I like what I like, and
mhm,
I was kind of like, Mariah, we're going to have to really be on top of this. Like, we
Mhm.
can't just because it's there doesn't
Willy-nilly.
mean like we
Yeah,
have to go spend it.
true
And
that.
like, yeah, I've been really proud that like I haven't touched it unless I've needed it.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome. And
growth.
it will be the longer that you're in there, you'll start to see consistency and
Mhm.
patterns and you know what I mean? And you can start
Exactly.
putting some money away for you to hopefully retire one day and like
Yeah.
go
Yes.
on
It'll
vacation
be
and
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a few goals because right now I have like two personal loans and I'm almost done paying off one. Like, I'm probably going to pay that off within the next 3 months. And
Awesome.
then I can shift to the other one. And then once I
Mhm.
get that paid off, then I'm going to get all my credit cards paid off. And then once we get
Mhm.
those paid off, then yeah,
Mhm.
we're going to be unstoppable.
Yes. That's good shit. Good shit. And again, I'm a hairstylist, not a counselor. However, if it's already on your credit and you have not been making payments, something to consider is that sometimes it's better to just let sleeping dogs lie. Because say it's been on your credit for 3.5 years, right?
Hmm.
Typically it'll stay on your credit for 7 years. It's on
Right.
your credit, it's already brought your credit down, you haven't made a payment in 3 years, 3.5 years. If you start making payments again today, that 7 year countdown starts over. So sometimes it's best to just leave it alone and like let it fall off. But if
Well,
you're already making payments, stay on those payments.
yeah. Well, and I was gonna say, what's frustrating is like last year, I got really sick in
Mhm.
January and like was
Mhm.
out like almost 2 fucking weeks.
Mhm.
And in our industry, if you don't work, you don't get paid.
Mhm.
And I literally like just had enough money to literally like pay my rent and like
Mhm.
my electricity and heating. Like,
Mhm.
my mom had to buy me groceries for a few weeks, like, we were roughing it,
Mhm.
and I tried to be a mature adult. I called all my
Mhm.
credit card companies, and I was like, "Hey, girl, listen,
Mhm.
we're going
Mhm.
through some things right now. You're not getting that payment, so what we
Mhm.
gonna do?" And
Mhm.
they all said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but unfortunately, like, we're gonna need something." And it's like, "No, I hear you." But
Mhm.
it can't be the
Yeah.
minimum of what I've been paying, which has all been $100.
Yeah.
Like, can't do it. And it
Yeah.
was like, tippity tap, tap, tap.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, you don't qualify for like any of
Mhm.
our programs to help you.
Mhm.
Okay, girl. Again, I hear you, but you're
Uh-huh.
not hearing me.
Yeah,
You're not
like you
getting
can
that
get
money.
0
Yeah, like you're not
or
getting
you can
anything.
get yeah.
So, like, again, what are our options? And
Yeah.
so I didn't pay them. And what
Yeah.
happened? Blowing up my phone. Like,
Mhm.
multiple phone calls a day. Like,
Mhm.
borderline harassment, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Like, it's
And if
fucking.
you answer the phone and tell them not to call your phone anymore, by law, they're not supposed to call your phone anymore either, for the
Well,
record.
and then it's like, well, it just gets sold to another, and
Mhm.
they just harass you from a different number.
Mhm.
But yeah, I want to say probably about 3 or 4 months of not paying. I
Mhm.
finally I felt like good in a financial position where I could start paying again. And so uh I answered one of the phone calls and I was like, "Hey, crazy that
Mhm.
you're calling because
Mhm.
I told so and so months ago."
Mhm.
And, like,
Mhm.
really the only helpful out of all my credit cards, I will say, was Apple, shockingly
Mhm.
enough. Whoever that woman was, I can't remember her name, she was fucking amazing. Cause I told them, I was like, "I'm sure you guys get sob stories all the time." I was like, "I got really sick, I was out for 2 weeks," like, and she was like, "I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm so sorry that, like, no one was able to give you a better option. Like, this is ridiculous." And what do you know? Because now that I've missed so many payments and y'all have fucked up my credit. Now I
Mhm,
qualify for some options
mhm,
and like some help.
mhm,
And
mhm,
so then I got on all these plans, and it's just like,
mhm,
why couldn't have this been the first option?
mhm,
Like, I did everything right, right? I called you guys ahead of time to
mhm.
tell you, hey, it's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I got my credit together during COVID somehow. I don't even know how I managed that because it was like as we're planning to move to Georgia on top of it all, but I got all my debt paid off. I got like my credit score together. And I just was like, I want to get to an 800 credit score just because like that just is the number, right? So like that was the
Mhm.
goal. I want to have an 800 credit score. I still haven't gotten
Yeah.
there. Still haven't gotten there. It's like, whatever it is, high 700s. Um, but it occurs to me that like literally nobody else besides poor people are expected to have good credit. Like our government loses trillions of dollars, doesn't pass an audit ever, and like it's fine.
It's
We're just supposed to
fine.
like we're just supposed to be
Literally.
fine with it. But God forbid I want to like, whatever, put
Mhm.
something on a credit card,
Well,
Now
I'm
it's
kind
20.
of experiencing that right now with, I think, like my business license and like the tax ID and all that shit. I don't
Mhm.
know. I think something got filled out wrong or something wasn't matching. And
Mhm.
so I got an email January 2nd, and it
Mhm.
was like, something popped up that was wrong. So we're going to have to like go over it hand review, and that can take up to 20 to 25 business days. And I
Mhm.
was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I'm just thinking, like, first of all, there's literally a convicted felon as the president. And
Hello.
here I am, silly me, just trying to open up a business so I can support myself.
Yeah.
And it's like jumping through fucking rings of fire.
Yeah. Mhm.
And, like, also crazy that, like, I just can't go somewhere because, here, like, our state board's down in fucking the capital,
Mhm.
which that's a whole thing. Like, why is our capital Jefferson City? Like, I think it should be St. Louis, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but it's
Atlanta
like,
is the same way or was. I don't think Atlanta is the capital of Georgia. Well, I think maybe it is now, but it didn't used to be. I think
yeah,
that's relatively,
weird.
yeah,
But yeah, so I would have to drive like 3 hours one way
yeah.
to like go
To
in
deal with it in
person.
person. Yeah,
Yeah, to deal with all this shit. And it's like, why can't y'all like I'm not even working in Jefferson City. So like
yeah,
why can't y'all just transfer that to St. Louis City and I can go up to City Hall and do it there?
yeah.
Whew,
Oh. For real
frustrating.
though. Yeah, for real though. Yes.
For real though.
Okay, so let me get to our outline. See what we got going on today. So we never did. So in salon things, and I know that we kind of briefly talked about switching up from black behind the chair, and we haven't like. So for now, we're just like still black behind the chair until we figure our shit out. And
Figure it
I
out.
think even when we're not, I still want to kind of always talk about salon things because I mean it's who we are, right?
Yeah,
So we have color theory on the list of things, and I'm assuming you put that on there.
I did.
Yeah.
So I saw this TikTok, of course, and it was talking about how the colors cyan, magenta, and yellow are like the primary colors. And it was talking about how, like, when it comes to ink and paint, like, those are the colors that you need to, like, essentially make the other colors. And
That
I was
makes
like,
sense.
that's yeah, and I was like, that's so
Mhm.
interesting. But then
Mhm.
I was thinking it wouldn't necessarily apply to like color theory with hair though. Um because like, with remaining pigments in the hair, it is red, blue, and yellow.
Mhm.
Um and orange. Um but I was doing one of my mom's friend's hair, and she was getting her hair professionally colored by a licensed cosmetologist. And I would say her hair naturally, she's pretty dark. I'd say like a level 3
Mhm.
naturally. And
Mhm.
then but she's always been blonde. Like I've never not seen her blonde. And she
Mhm.
claimed that I colored her hair dark, but I was like, I don't remember that. But
Mhm.
um so she comes in because she was like, I haven't gotten the blonde that I've really wanted. It's always brassy, it's always golden, blah blah blah. So she comes in and I'm looking at her hair and it's her new growth, which again is a level 3,
Mhm.
and probably a level 7.5
I knew you were gonna say
orange.
orange. Yep. Mhm.
And
The
then
orange
like
and
yeah, and then level like 9, like a golden blonde on the ends. And I was
Mhm.
like,
Mm.
and I was asking her, I was like, so when the other person was doing your hair, were you doing like a touch up and highlights, or like was she just doing highlights and then going in and like bumping the base? And of
Mhm.
course she didn't know. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. So what I did, and like in the back was like you lifted all of this up and it was just straight orange. And
Mhm.
I was like, okay. And
Mhm.
so in the back I did um like 15 volume and bleach to like break that up. And then anything that was like yellow, I put conditioner on and like didn't even touch it because I was like, I don't want to fry her hair.
Mhm.
Um and then once I got to like her crown, I just upped it and just did 20 in bleach. And it was
Mhm.
so pretty. But
Mhm.
I also did do some like low lights of, I think I did like 8, like an ashy 8,
Mhm.
because I was like, this is gonna help the grow out. That way you
Mhm.
don't have like such
Break
a
everything
harsh
up a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But it just got me thinking about like color theory and how like a lot of people don't know it. And sometimes you can't just go, and this is why I'm grateful that like I did spend a lot of time with Aveda color, because they really teach you like you have to add and take away tones if you want to see certain things.
Mhm.
And so sometimes I still get a little frustrated, like still within the professional setting, that you think
Mhm.
that you can just go put a level 8 on a level 3 with 20 volume probably, or maybe you
Girl.
did up it to
Even if
30
it's
and
40, even if it's 40, going
yeah,
from
even
an
if it
8 to from a 3 to an 8, even with a 40 is not possible. It's not possible.
no,
It's
no,
not possible.
and it's just like
And you're probably gonna cause more damage than just going with bleach in, like, 15 or 20 volume. Like, the scalp
literally.
is gonna be more irritated. Yeah.
Well, and then of course I was like, how long, would it usually take her to do all this? And she was like, oh, like 2 hours. And then she was also saying that the stylist was using 30 volume. And I was like,
On her scalp. Ouch.
I don't know. I don't know if she was using 30 volume with the touch up, or if she was using 30 volume with the bleach. Cause I
Mm,
was like, either way, to me that seems a
ouch.
little excessive.
Yeah. I will
Um
use 30 volume with bleach on scalp if I mix in a bond multiplier or a bond builder because that lowers the volume. So like,
right.
you know what I mean? But like just raw 30 volume and bleach on scalp is crazy.
Yeah. Well, and
Ouch.
even like I was even thinking like 30 volume and bleach for her hair was a little excessive because
Yeah.
like for a highlight, like you don't
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
that unless you're
Mhm.
like super fast and you can get
Mhm.
the hair done like quickly like that. I mean,
True.
bravo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did, like I said, I did 15 volume and bleach in the back, and that shit got bright as fuck. So I
Mhm.
was like, there was no need for them to be ever be using 30 volume on you.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah,
The
I've
number
only
of
really
bottles.
ever used 30 volume and bleach when the hair is just super tight.
Yeah.
Like I've used it on like, Asian women's hair
Yeah.
because that shit
Mhm.
just does
That
not
cuticle
budge.
is, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've been an independent stylist, like buying my own color for 15 years easily. And I can probably count on one hand the number of 30 and or 40 volume developer bottles of developer I've bought in 15 years. Like
Mhm.
it's just not a thing. 10 and 20 is plenty. And I'm always all about the low and slow. Let's do it low and slow. I would
Yeah.
rather you be here all day and your hair be bouncy and healthy and shiny,
Mhm.
um, than to blast open your cuticle and now your porosity is shit and your elasticity is
Mhm.
gone. And
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just I was like, this is crazy.
And that was a corrective color that you did.
Mhm.
You haven't even
Yeah,
been open a full month yet.
I know,
That's
right?
awesome.
But yeah, she loved it and she like texted me the next day. She was like, I didn't realize how bad it was and like now I want to do my makeup and I was like, yeah, girl. And I told her I was like, we do like have to go low and slow with this because yeah, if I do 30 volume and bleach, you're not going to have any more hair. So,
Yeah. Yep. 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 And impressing upon her the importance of coming in like every no more than 6 weeks, because the
mhm,
further you get away from the scalp, the more likely you are going to have that orange band. And
mhm,
that orange band is going to take more time, and which is going to cost you more money. And like,
mhm.
get in here when that new growth is itty bitty, girl, itty bitty.
Exactly. Well, and also like cuz my mom was saying too like she was kind of freaking out about the price at first. And my mom told her she was like, "Well, you keep going and spending all this money and you never like it. Why wouldn't you just go spend all this money and actually like it and then you upkeep that and it's not going to be $300 every time you get your hair done."
And I'm sorry, $300 for a corrective blonde is, girl, you are winning. You better be quiet and pay that damn money and be glad.
Right.
And your hair is still attached.
It
You better
is.
pay
It
that money
is.
and be glad.
It
Like,
is.
are you kidding me? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. But shout out to mom for being like, girl, get it
Yeah.
together.
Yes. Because my mom gets it. She's heard me complain
Mhm,
for years.
mhm. Yeah. Okay, so I've actually the last couple of days, this has nothing to do with hair color. But so I don't know if I've ever told you this, but at night when I'm going to sleep, I always listen to YouTube videos when I'm falling asleep. Like I'm a podcast girly when I'm falling asleep. So the
Mhm.
last couple of days, my algorithm has been dealing me white people's business heavy. So I'm like, I can't wait to talk to Raya or to Impad because I know she's gonna
Yes.
have the tea. Um, so I watched a video this morning that was saying that Blake Lively and Taylor Swift are dangerous. I think was like the title of it, because now I guess all of these screenshots of text messages and things are coming out.
Mhm.
So what do you want to, can you update us on like what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, it just kinda sounds like I mean, I haven't gone through and actually, like, read a lot of them, but it just sounds like that, yeah, Blake was trying to get her little team together in her corner for when all of
Mhm.
this blew up. And um it's just also very interesting that, like, again, I'm not a Swiftie, but I do know that Taylor Swift, I want to say, like, sued or like fought against one of the music productions to like win back her masters or something like
Scooter
that.
Braun, I think. I think it was Scooter
Yeah, yeah.
Braun. Mhm.
That whole situation.
Mhm.
So it's interesting that, like, and she gets a lot of praise for that. Like,
Mhm.
oh, she's this feminist
You fought
icon
the
and like,
patriarchy and
yeah,
won.
exactly,
Uh-huh,
exactly.
uh-huh.
And it's like, well, here you are, like, taking away, like, and I hate to stand up for a man,
I
like,
know.
in the pants, but, like, why did Blake think that this was her project?
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. And then
Yeah.
if you think about, like, her getting her husband involved, and yeah, getting Taylor Swift involved, like, getting all these big names
I think,
involved
like,
to,
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's names were mentioned.
yeah, like, that's why.
Yeah. Well, and it, like, so I didn't go deep, deep, deep into it, but I did, like, tread water a little bit, and a couple of things really stood out to me. I think the first thing for me was, it was, like, apparently Blake Lively is kinda known for having affairs with her co-stars, and, like, maybe she wanted to, like, she can't figure out why Justin Baldoni is not interested in her when in the past she's
I could
always been
definitely
able.
see that. I
So,
think I think she
peak
definitely
white
caught,
womaning.
yeah.
Peak white womaning.
Mhm.
Um, and then also the other thing that really stood out to me, because I did sit around and, like, listen to the text messages between Taylor Swift and her.
Mhm.
And I found it interesting that it was like she's calling him goofy, she's calling him a clown, like she has all these things to say about him. But you know what she
Mhm.
didn't say about him? She didn't ever say that he, like, assaulted her or that she felt uncomfortable around him. So I found that kind of fascinating,
Mhm.
especially given the history of white women with false sexual assault allegations.
Right. Absolutely.
And like you
Well,
said, far be it from me to fucking take up for a man, especially a white man,
mhm.
like, who's an
Right.
army.
Mhm. Well,
But
and I even think
also,
too, the like the whole Deadpool and Wolverine, like those clips and like that kind of whole situation, like that to me, I was like, that's kind of damning within itself. Like, here you have Nice Pool and like who's supposed to be loosely based off of like Justin Baldoni. And I think they even said like Ryan had a nose prosthetic.
mhm,
Um and so, yeah, to have that and then to also within the movie, like, make a joke about, like, uh, having a intimate coordinator or whatever those things are
the
called.
intimacy.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
yeah,
about that.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I know they're a thing though. Yeah.
yeah. So in the Deadpool movie, like, they make a joke about, so Lady Pool, who was played by Blake Lively, and I wanna say, was it regular Deadpool, which is still Ryan Gosling, or not Ryan Gosling, Ryan Reynolds. He makes, like, a joke on her body, and then Nice Pool says something like, "Oh, gotta be careful, like, when you say things on set like that because, like, the intimacy coordinator," and, like, actively made a joke about it in the movie. And this was even before, like, we knew about
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
situation between Blake and Justin.
yeah.
And then Nice Pool ends up getting shot by Lady Pool, who is played by Blake Lively. And if you stop the movie of where he's getting shot, it's in front of a flower shop, which is like in the movie It Ends With Us. That's the whole shtick is like she's opening up a flower shop.
Yeah, I
So
remember. Yeah,
like
I remember we talked about that because that was the same episode where I was freaking out about the daughter, their actual daughter, making the comment about a man's genitals in front of a pizza shop.
yes.
So
Mhm.
yeah, they apparently were just burying messages left and right up in there, which,
Mhm.
the elites have been known to do. And I feel like is becoming clearer and clearer by the day.
Literally by the day. Ugh.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll keep our eye on it because they're still going back. They're still like in court, right?
I think so. Or
Yeah.
they're trying to I don't know what's actually happening because I think they threw out Justin's original lawsuit,
Mm.
which is like crazy, especially now with all of this like coming out.
Hmm.
Um but I think what's happening is they're trying to still prove that he did her like sexually harass her, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I personally think because I've always heard like Blake Lively's a mean girl, and Ryan Reynolds used to be married to Scarlett Johansson, and I'm pretty sure if the timeline is correct, like him and Blake would have had
Hmm.
an affair before him and Scarlett like officially
They did.
separated.
Based on
Yeah,
the lightweight research that I did last night
yeah.
and today. Yeah. And
Hmm.
I didn't even know it was Scarlett Johansson. But it just said that he was married when Blake
Hmm.
and him got together. I didn't look to see who he was married to.
Yeah, yeah, it
So
was to Scarlett. And I remember I want to say like I read like a magazine article and they were saying that they divorced because they were getting like big kind of at the same time. But Scarlett was bigger than he was. Like she
mhm,
got as soon as she got signed on with Marvel, her career like skyrocketed. So
mhm,
like I think he got jealous. And he
mhm.
does strike me as one of those men where like he has to be the center of
The
attention.
alpha.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I
Yeah.
mean, I think he got that with Blake. Like, yes, Blake is famous. Like she comes from a famous family.
Mhm,
But like she's not sh- definitely not on the level that Scarlett Johansson is. And
mm,
I think
definitely.
uh
If I could
and I
pick
think
Scarlett Johansson out of a lineup, I still to this day don't know who the fuck Blake Lively is. I'm not.
exactly, exactly. And
Yeah.
I think Blake wanted this to be her movie. And like
Mhm,
even remember hearing that they were trying to or that she thought like this was going to get an Oscar nomination. And it's like,
oh,
whoa, whoa,
wow.
whoa.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't but it's only because of the marketing. Because remember
Mhm,
when the Barbie movie came out and so did
mhm,
Oppenheimer, and
mhm,
there was like that
mhm,
excellent marketing of both movies, and like
mhm,
even some movie theaters were doing like, oh, you can go see Barbie and then you can go see Oppenheimer in the same day.
mhm,
And
mhm,
I think Blake and Ryan wanted to copy that because Blake had It Ends With Us and Ryan
mhm,
had the Deadpool Wolverine movie.
mhm,
And I think
mhm,
they were trying to copy that like market strategy and perfect too. Like Blake and Ryan are married. So like here
mhm.
you have this married couple with these two big movies coming out and yeah, I think it just didn't
She
go
felt
Blake's
they felt
way.
entitled. She felt
Mhm.
entitled.
Yep.
Shocking.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it just didn't go her way, and so then she tried to be like, "Well, actually, like, this and this happened. So
Okay, girl.
that's
Yeah,
just my thought.
yeah, yeah. And did we already talk about the Taylor Swift Rolling Stone article? 'Cause I feel like
We might have. I forgot. No,
okay,
I think we did
okay.
because I think it was like only four. They found out it was really only like 4% of those accounts were actual bots. And
Wait,
it's
what now?
like, so Rolling Stone came out with this article because it was around the time everyone was calling Taylor Swift a white supremacist because of
Mm,
the necklace and everything and her song or her new album.
mhm,
And Rolling Stones already isn't a reliable source because like they always rate her albums like 5 stars.
mhm,
Anyways, and so then in the article it was just saying like, "Oh yeah, we did a deep dive and we found out like a lot of these accounts that were spreading this misinformation about Taylor Swift being a Nazi were coming from like fake bot accounts." And it's
mm.
like, okay, that's interesting. But also, what about the real life conversations that I saw that were actually happening with Black people?
Mhm,
And how, like, a lot of people were saying that those were dog whistle terms.
mhm,
So,
mhm,
and again, until Taylor Swift herself, because this isn't the first time that she's been tied to white supremacy and like Nazis and all that, until she comes out and is like, hey, I don't support that, like, quit doing that on my behalf, I'm going to assume that she's okay with it.
Seems like you kinda like it.
Yeah.
Seems like you kinda like
So,
it.
like,
Yeah.
and people want to say, but she votes Democrat or she speaks up politically. Like, it really,
Allegedly.
allegedly, you don't know what she's putting down in that ballot.
Mhm. And I
Like,
don't know that she's really said much. I remember she did like the magazine cover with the cat, that was like supposed to be in response to like, lonely cat ladies, whatever the hell. But she doesn't really say much.
no, she doesn't.
She doesn't really say much.
Mm-mm.
And this is something that I've kind of always noticed, but in the last like year or so, it's become so much more blatantly obvious how the powers that be, whoever that is, and I'm gonna say the elites or like white people in general, like generally speaking, right? They decide something and then it's like they hand out these talking points to everyone, and like we see the Republican Party doing it quite a bit. And I know like in the second hour I assume that we're going to get to like Minnesota and everything that's going on in Minnesota and how we've seen like Christy Nome and what's the little Bovino, the little midget guy that's in charge of ICE and like whatever, where they're all coming out with the same exact talking points, right? But it's not, and even like when Charlie Kirk was killed, we saw where everyone was coming out and it was all the radical leftists and the violent radical left and like and they're all just saying the same words over and over. Like if you repeat it enough, that makes it true.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm noticing that also, like outside of politics, right? That happens in other spaces. So it definitely happens in Hollywood. I think where I noticed it most recently is like I know we talked about like Pizzagate and all of that on this podcast and how like now it's pretty much like if you Google it, it's pretty much considered like a crazy conspiracy theory. Like, and that it's been debunked, but like, has it though?
Right.
Like, has it? Because I can't find anywhere where that's been debunked, but like because you say it's been debunked, I'm supposed to believe you. And so I feel like that's the same thing that's happening like where like just because you say Taylor Swift isn't a white supremacist doesn't mean that she's not. Like you said, she needs to come out and like her behavior and the words that are coming out of her mouth need to match,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Absolutely.
don't.
And
I
speaking
don't know.
of the Pizzagate situation, there is a video when Taylor Swift is on, I think she was on Jimmy Fallon, and they're like talking about a pizza party. And she was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, like I remember coming over for like the pizza party and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why are
Mm-hmm. That's
y'all
so
having
random,
like
right?
yeah, like
Yeah,
pizza parties? I'm supposed to believe that like Jimmy Fallon and Taylor Swift are
are
like
having a
inviting
pizza
people
party.
over to their house for a pizza party?
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of weird,
That's
but
weird. And then
yeah.
especially when you think about all of the email, like what I know we don't like to bring up Hillary's emails on the left,
Mhm.
but there were a bunch of emails where it just didn't like it wasn't making sense. Like the conversations that they were having about pizza in these emails wasn't making sense. And they
No.
are her emails. Like there's no argument about whether or not these are her emails.
Mhm.
So like what the fuck are y'all talking about?
What is going
That
on?
what's going on? And especially when there's all these pictures of your husband on Epstein Island. Like, yeah. Anywho.
Every day I'm
Anywho.
like, what's going to happen today? Or
Yeah.
like, is something going to happen? Is today going to be the day where we're finally like, we've had enough? And it's like, no, not
Yeah.
yet.
Well, and I don't think it's by we, I just feel like by we, I mean white people, because damn it, we've been telling y'all that shit is fucked
Mhm.
up for like literally decades. We've been like, look,
Centuries.
guys, like shit's going on. It's really fucked up out here. And it didn't matter to y'all because it was happening to black and brown people. So,
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. And like to have as many white people uh talk about like yeah, when Charlie Kirk happened, but then y'all are so fucking silent on Keith Porter and Renee Good and now Alex
Peretti.
Peretti. Yeah,
Mhm.
like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like y'all
Well, and
have more.
even like pretending like, because the thing I think that drives me the most crazy is everyone's like, oh my gosh, like your second, like obviously your Second Amendment right doesn't mean anything anymore. As if Philando Castile didn't get shot and killed in the same exact fucking city under the same exact, like not even the same circumstances. He was a passenger in a fucking car that was pulled over for a traffic infraction and was murdered in front of his child. And he was a legal gun owner. So
Speak
to
on
act
it.
like now all of a sudden your Second Amendment rights are being attacked is crazy when that was 10 years ago.
Right.
Like that was 10 years ago.
And also want to point out that the officer that killed Philando Castile uh underwent David Grossman's training of
Mhm,
like he goes around and trains police
mhm,
officers,
mhm.
and I want to say also Darren Wilson attended one of those classes as well. And I'm like, why can't we hold him like responsible?
Yeah, and the guy
Like,
that shot and killed Philando Castile never served a day in jail. He was never held accountable for that.
of
And I
course.
see that D hopped on and said, "What about the NRA?" And that's funny that you asked that because I actually took a screenshot of a statement from the NRA. So they have two statements, which is crazy. Again, white people talking out of both sides of their mouth, right? because
Mhm.
so the first statement was I don't know, some United States, I forget who he works for. He's a I forget who he's like a district attorney in California, something. And so we were just talking about how, white people and the government have been heavy on the everybody's like in lockstep with their statements, right? So this guy says if you approach law enforcement with a gun, there's a high likelihood that they will be legally justified in shooting you, right? This is on Twitter. Which, like, obviously, if anyone has seen the tape of Alex Peretti, he did not approach anyone with a gun. He had a phone in one hand, his other hand was up. He was over there, like, trying to help this woman that the agent had just pushed violently on the ground. Like, he obviously, anyone who, like, still has their own ability to, like, think for themselves knows good and hell well that Alex Peretti did not do anything to the ICE agents. So the NRA responded and said this sentiment from the first assistant U.S. attorney for the Central District of California is dangerous and wrong. Responsible public voices should be awaiting a full investigation, not making generalizations and demonizing law-abiding citizens. Which is exactly what the NRA is supposed to be saying, right? Like, I don't know what took them so long to say that. That's exactly what they're supposed to be saying. My problem with that is 2 days ago, what is today? Today is the 25th. Yesterday, January 24th, the NRA said for months, radical progressive politicians like Tim Walz have incited violence against law enforcement officers who are simply trying to do their jobs. Unsurprisingly, these calls to dangerously interject oneself into legitimate law enforcement activities have ended in violence, tragically resulting in injuries and fatalities. As there is with any officer involved shooting, there will be a robust and comprehensive investigation that takes place to determine if the use of force was justified. As we await these facts and gain a clearer understanding, we urge the political voices to lower the temperature to ensure their constituents and law enforcement officers stay safe. So they're talking out of both sides of their neck, is what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
Because you can't on one hand say that we need to like lower the temperature because the only reason the temperature is raised is because our fucking government is in a city doing a whole bunch of illegal shit and harassing people who are minding their own fucking business,
Mhm.
all so that we don't so they don't have to release the files of them abusing children. Like, so you can't on one hand say that we need to lower the temperature and then the next day like, oh, citizens have the right to have guns. Like, I was just telling a client this week, I don't need the government to tell me shit about my rights. I was born with rights and you may not legislate them. No one can legislate what the fuck I'm allowed, what I have the right to do. And I was born with the right to defend myself. That's why we're born with the fight or flight or freeze response. And I don't need you to make a law about it. At the end of the day, like, the fuck?
Mhm. Literally. Yeah, I know, like, I can't be out there. Like, if
Mm-mm.
there have been so many videos where I was like, how is no one doing anything? Like, I mean, that one video that we talked about where that girl got yanked out of City Hall,
Mhm,
like,
mhm,
again, I just couldn't. And then to see, yeah, ICE agents like drag a pregnant woman through the snow,
mhm.
like push and beat people. Like, I literally could not watch that. Like,
Yeah,
they would shoot me.
yeah,
Like, because
for sure,
it will be on site.
for sure. And like I was just telling my mom last night that I am so I'll say what I just was telling my mom last night. If I should end up shot and killed by police or ICE or whoever, because one thing about me, I'm gonna say something. if it's happening in front of me, I'm gonna say something. I'm
Mhm.
gonna say something. So when they
Yep.
shoot and kill me for being aggressive, I just want to make sure that everybody knows I want y'all to tell the fucking truth. And if you get on the news and say that I would have wanted you to be peaceful, I will haunt you for the rest of your fucking life. Burn this
Mhm.
shit to the fucking ground in my
Mhm.
name. Amen.
Yep. Yep. I'm right there with you. Yeah,
I'm
I
sick of it.
not to like be all morbid or demented or anything, but like, yeah, sometimes I do wonder, like, okay, yeah, if I were out in the streets, saw something happen, and I like died, like the people that knew me, who calls me their friend, their family, whoever, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna
Because,
say
like,
some. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something. I feel like I know you well enough, even though we've never actually met in person. I feel like I know you well enough to know what you would and wouldn't say. And I know, again, for you would not be like, no, we should be peaceful. Let them just do an investigation, bitch. No,
no,
absolutely the fuck not. And
I'm
D
talking
and D says
rage
they burn
out.
and tear up stuff when they win sporting events. Facts.
Literally,
Yeah.
literally.
And another thing, they keep talking about how he was at this protest armed. Let's be clear, he was not at a protest. We had the largest general strike in modern history. That's what he was at. They weren't at a protest. They were at a
Mhm.
general strike when that happened. And I hate, and it was probably intentional, how him being shot has taken away from that story of how huge that general strike was.
Oh, 100%.
Because we're not talking about that anymore. Now we're talking about how police just murdered someone in cold blood and they're lying about it like we can't see. Like,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
Um, and maybe he wasn't at the strike. Maybe was he shot the next day? Was he shot the day after the strike or was it the day of the strike?
I thought it was the day of.
Yeah, I think so too, but
And
if you
also,
know.
isn't because what state? Minnesota?
Mhm.
Isn't that an open carry?
It is. It
Okay,
is.
yeah. So,
It is.
argument not even fucking
Not
valid.
even valid. But here's what's crazy. All of a sudden, the Republicans who are all about their Second Amendment right and you can't take our guns, now all of a sudden they're fucking bootlicking and apparently it's fine to tread on them.
Mhm. Mhm.
Apparently it's fine now to tread on them because they like the taste of boots in the
Mhm.
morning.
They sure do. I always hated, like, at my old apartment, the neighbor across the street had a, yeah, like a "Don't tread on me" flag, but also like a "Blue Lives Matter" flag, and I was like, "I don't think you know
You don't know what
what
that
that
means.
means."
That's like having a Confederate flag and an American flag right next to each other. And I
Like,
will die on the hill that the reason that all of this shit is happening to this day is because they didn't violently fucking hang and guillotine the traitors from the Confederate War in the first place. Like
mhm,
everyone that was on that shit in the first place should have been made an example of in
mhm.
public, and we wouldn't even be here today.
Well, and after World War II, we invited the Nazis over. We literally gave them jobs, and we're like,
Yeah,
"Hey, we'll forget
yeah,
about, like, this whole you being tied to Hitler if you can get us to the moon." So,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Also that.
And it's like, and we wonder, and like we wonder why the Tuskegee experiments happened, and like, you
Tuskegee,
know,
yes.
yeah, Tuskegee.
Well,
And
yeah,
all these experiments that would happen on black and brown communities.
yeah. No, I'm sick of it. And you know what else I'm sick of? I'm sick of people calling them Nazis when Nazis learned from America and Jim Crow and slavery.
Mhm.
So again, instead of calling them Nazis, how about we just call them Confederates because that's what the fuck they are.
White narcissism. What were you saying? Because when I saw that video, I was like, ah, this reminds me of what you were saying. You weren't calling it white supremacy anymore. You were calling it what?
Probably white domination. I call it like white domination because that's all they
Yes.
do is they white people, and this is historically, and correct me if I'm wrong. I want you to put this shit in the comments if I tell a lie right now. One thing white people are going to do when they come across something that's new that they've never seen before, they're going to kill it, they're going to eat it, and they're going to fuck it. Those three things they're going to do. Like, they are omnicidal. They white people just don't have any concept of how to like just live in concert with nature. They have to dominate
Mhm.
it. Like, they have to dominate it. They have to kill it, they have to eat it, they have to fuck it. If they
Mhm.
can't do those things, then they want to kill it. They want to obliterate it. They want
Why
it
do you
out
think
of.
that is?
So my husband has this really good friend who happens to be a white man. He's originally from Portland, Oregon. Shout out to Zany. We love you, Zany. Um, and so he's the person that recommended to me this book called The Iceman Inheritance. And it basically says that the reason that white people are so mean and evil is because they're from fucking caves where, and like ice caves where they originated from a space of lack and like not having enough. So they don't understand how to live in abundance, basically.
Mm,
And it tracks. Like, I don't know. Do you have any
that's
theories?
interesting.
Like, that makes sense to me. So I
Yeah.
haven't really,
Yeah.
like, they're just not used to living in abundance. They're used to living in lack, and then they want to have everything for themselves, right? Like, they don't know how to share.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, I always think of like, because they say that like trauma and like fears and stuff can be like passed down through generations because like slavery and
Yeah.
like all that. And that had me thinking like, because being having a white family, I growing up, I was like, how are you guys not seeing this?
Mhm.
Like, how are some of you it's literally not clicking at all,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the horrors that are happening,
Yeah.
and it had me thinking, well, like, if all that trauma can be passed down, like, I would imagine so can all that hate and,
Absolutely.
like, just, like, well, I've never had to worry about this,
Mhm.
like, throughout centuries.
Mhm.
Like, they have never had to worry about, like, stuff like that, and then I started thinking how, like, community is so big in predominantly, like, Black and brown Asian cultures, but how, like,
It's not
in
a thing in
white
white culture.
but, like, it is in a way because I can't tell you how many white families and I mean, I know all families do this, but I feel like a lot of white families are like, there's nothing thicker than blood. Like, that is their community is like, but you have to be blood related.
Mhm.
And I don't
And it
know, there
doesn't
is
matter if your blood, like, has been raping your children or, like,
yeah.
any of the things, yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting yeah, I might have to think on that a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, and I can only speak on my family, on all 3 sides of my family, because I have, of course, my mom's side of the family, I have my biological side of the family, and then I have my dad's side of the family, the man who actually raised me, and all 3 of them. And I think it's this way, across the board, like, no matter how, because everyone's family is dysfunctional, you know, in some degree, right? But even no matter the dysfunction, like that they love each other, they have each other's back, they're, you know what I mean? Like you can depend on, like, that's a thing. But, and I think I've said on this podcast before where I've been really, really like digging deep into, um, definitely like the Epstein files has been a part of it, but like just this country is like human trafficking has been a thing since this country's inception. That's what I'm coming to realize, like human trafficking has been a thing since this country's inception. Whether it's for labor, but also obviously when you look at the Epstein files, child sex trafficking as well. Um, and I'm looking at like people like Paris Hilton who have come forward and said that like she hasn't said I was sex trafficked as a child, but she kind of has said that she was sex trafficked as a child, her and her siblings. And she's not the only like white heiress, right, who has said this. And so as I've just been digging into this, like, yeah, everybody has like their family ties, but, and like I said, I'm not here to say that like my family doesn't have dysfunction on its own level. But what you're not going to do in my family is harm a child. Like, you're just not, we will kill you. Like, we will kill you. And I just know too many stories of people who grew up in families where where children are harmed and they have to sit across the table from their abuser, like at Thanksgiving dinner or at Sunday dinner, sometimes even not even just at Thanksgiving, right?
Mhm.
That shit's weird. I don't even remember where I was going with that, but it's just fucking weird. It's weird.
No, that is weird. Yeah. Yeah, I remember I had an uncle on my dad's side, and I remember my cousin, who she's older than me, and she was an adult telling me this story, but he like made a pass on her, and I was like, don't like that. That's very weird.
Mhm,
And strange. But then it got me thinking, like, there are, like, I have a sister who was a
mhm.
child at the time, like
Yeah,
cousins that were children.
yeah,
And I remember when I talked to my dad, I was kind of like, is he like coming around? Like, is he around kids? Like, what's going on here? And
yeah.
my dad was like, oh no, like, I don't fuck with him. And apparently, like, him and my dad got into like an altercation. And I remember at the time, like, them getting into an altercation, and people were like very worried because I think like some pews got drawn, and like
Yeah,
it was a serious situation, and I was like, all right, yeah, let's keep it that way. I was like, well,
as we should.
I don't want
As
them,
we
yeah.
should.
Yeah, and I remember like when I went down there to go visit, I like saw him, and I was just like,
Yeah.
ugh,
And I know,
like,
like, for me, like children and old people, I will fuck you up.
mhm,
Like, they
mhm,
can't defend themselves. Like, that's what we're not going to do. That's what
mhm.
we're not going to do.
Yeah. Well, and then that was like kind of the hard thing was that uncle, he was elderly.
Mm.
Like, and so I was just like, sometimes they don't suspect like the little old man, but
Well, and he had
I
probably been doing that his entire life. He didn't wait until he was elderly to start doing
right,
it. You know what I'm
exactly,
saying? Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So I was just like, oh,
Yeah. My
I've
husband has a
always
man in his family who's elderly now. But the women in his family have told me like this dude like is inappropriate with children. Like he did X, Y, and Z to me. Like blah blah blah. Like he's in their family. I've seen him multiple times at at family gatherings, and every single time, like they told me that like damn near on day one, the women in the family were like, "Yeah, stay away from him. He's not, whatever, whatever." Like right. And I'm new
why
to
is
the
that
family.
weird?
I know. And so I'm new to the family. I don't want to be the person that's like he needs to fucking go. But
Right.
what I did do and what I continue to do is if like my children on day one, I'm like, yeah, see him, and his name happens to be Chester, which is crazy. I'm like, stay the fuck away from him. Like, if
Mm,
you see him, go the opposite direction. And I
mm,
keep my eye on him when we're at family gatherings. I keep my eye on him because let me fucking find out. I will
mm.
beat your old ass up in here.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about you being elderly
No. No,
because
no,
you
no.
weren't always elderly. And no,
Mhm, mhm.
absolutely not.
Yeah,
There's just
that's
certain shit that is just unforgivable to me. And
yeah.
yeah. And there's a lot of things that I can forgive. I saw someone say on Twitter where like they were saying like in the coming days, weeks, months, and years that people are gonna have to get very comfortable with like or like get in touch with their true morals and values. Like basically it was like so I'll speak on it in comparison to me and my morals and values. I don't give a fuck if you steal from Walmart, bitch. I don't care. I don't
Mhm,
care if you steal from Walmart.
mhm.
I don't give a fuck. But like I said, if you touch a child, we have beef. If you harm an elderly person, we have beef.
Mhm.
And so just like in these times that are coming, that we're just gonna have to get very clear on what constitutes like bad morals or poor morals and what is forgivable, right?
100%.
Um and yeah. So when I saw that, I was just like, yeah, no, for real. Like now more than ever, that's really gonna matter. Like I said, I don't give a shit that you carried a gun at a protest, especially when you're a legal gun owner. But even
Mhm.
if you're not, like, I don't care that you have a gun at a protest. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Second Amendment.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't say that you can't legislate my rights and then like try to tell somebody else about, well, you can't have a gun at a protest. Right. No.
Mhm.
No. Anyway, I know I just went off on a whole ass tangent.
No, I agree. I'm the same because I do say like all the time, I think the universe knows not to put me in certain situations because
Mhm,
it would know how I would respond. And
mhm,
like I think back of like during COVID and seeing like poor workers getting berated on because they're doing their fucking job. And
yeah,
some fucking person is like, well, me. And I was like, I would tell whoever, first of all, shut the fuck up and go.
mhm.
Like, you
Yeah,
get
no, we're
out of my
going
presence.
viral for sure. We're
Yeah,
going
yeah,
viral for
like, we
sure.
are going viral for sure, babes. Like, and
Yeah.
and don't put your hands on me, cause
Oh
like,
my
that will
God.
be the end of it. I promise you.
Have I ever
Like
told the stories about there's two stories. One where I actually did put my hands on this white man. I choked the shit out of this white man. And I'm not gonna tell it today. I just don't know if I've ever told it or not. So I choked the shit out of Bob the Bingo Man. Um, and then less than a year later, I didn't choke the shit out of this man. And the only reason he doesn't even know that the only reason that I did not choke this man out is because it had been less than a year since I had choked the last white man out. And I just didn't want for people to think I was the fucking problem. And then when I came home and told my husband the story, and he was like, "Babe, I've known you like your whole life. I know you're not the fucking problem." Like next time I'm
period.
choking this motherfucker
Mhm.
out. Next time I'm definitely putting my hands around his throat because people just be having you fucked up. Like they be taking your kindness for weakness. And
They do. And
I
I
am a really nice person. I'm a kind person. I'm not
Mhm.
necessarily a nice person, but I'm a kind person. I have a big heart. I care about other people. Like I want everyone to be okay, but like don't get it twisted. I will fuck you up. And
I
I will
sure
definitely
will.
put my hands on you.
Mhm. Please. I say all the time, like, you wouldn't be worth my episode of Snapped.
Literally,
So
I love that. No, I'm
please.
totally gonna use that.
And then whenever I was telling people that I was gonna apply for Love Island, or not Love
Mm.
Island, not Love Island, Love is Blind.
Ah.
Um, and they were like, "Oh, what would you like say in your little opening?" And I was like, be like, "Hi, I'm Mariah, and you get to choose. Is this gonna be Love is Blind or my episode of Snapped?"
I love this. Are you gonna apply?
I
I feel like
did,
you should
but I
apply.
was telling everyone, I was like, "They're not gonna pick me." And everyone was like, "Why do you think that?" And I was like, "They're gonna take one look at my social media and
Like,
be
this
like,
bitch is
'No.'"
crazy.
Yeah, and I am.
Yes.
Like,
To be clear.
to be
Yes.
clear,
So
nothing
you should.
brings me more joy than when grown men say, like, "You scare me." Good, I
Mhm.
should.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Please
Yep.
do not let these big brown eyes fool you.
Mhm. Yes. Yes. Um, but maybe you should just keep applying because sometimes they just choose people for the drama.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Look, she said Dee says you can be the drama.
Well, and
Literally,
then
you
I
can be
think
the
about
drama.
it, I I would really have to, like, mentally prepare because I was like, could I deal with, like, the public?
Mhm.
Because some of those people, and not that I think that, like, I would ever become, like, suicidal or anything, but, like,
Mm.
would I just wanna have to deal with it on a constant
Yeah.
basis, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, heavens forbid if I ever got with, like, a hot guy or someone, they'd be like, "She's
Yeah.
like, he's probably cheating on her." Like, I follow this one girl, her name's Alicia, I think that's her name, and she's, like, plus size and, like, she is, like, to me, she's very, like, nerdy looking, but she's so
Mhm.
cute, like,
Mhm.
she's adorable,
Mhm.
and her husband, he is, like, I would say he's like a hot jock, like,
Mhm.
and all the comments, and they've been together since like high school, like they're like high
Mhm.
school sweethearts. And like, guess
Mhm.
what? She always didn't look like that, and he always didn't look like how he does now. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
And and anytime she'll post like an intimate photo of them or like him being sexual towards her, all the comments she gets, it's
That's
just
gross.
so, yeah, it's so
Yes.
gross.
Yeah.
And like all the DMs that women send him, like, I would be so much better for you, like blah blah blah. And it's like,
Yeah.
ladies,
Gross. It's
what?
funny you say that because I just in the last few days, and you may or may not know who either of these people are because you're quite a bit younger than me, but Albie Shore was such a he was the heartthrob in the 90s.
Hmm.
R&B singer. He's actually the father of Kim Porter's
Yeah, I was
oldest
just,
child.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes, so he was the heartthrob in the 90s. Like, I'm
Mhm.
almost positive that the reason that I have children with the psychopath that I have children with is because Albie Shore is Albie Shore. Like, it was the 90s, like, that's just, what we did.
I'll have to
Um,
ask my
and
mom if that's how I'm here.
maybe. Maybe. So Albie Shore and this comedian, her name is Lunel. And she's been in a bunch of movies. I feel like if you saw a picture of her that she would at least be familiar to you. And I love Lunel. Like she's funny, like she's so funny. And she just doesn't really give a damn about much. Like she just says
Mhm.
whatever. Anyway, they've been posting these steamy pictures together on the internet the last couple of days. So the internet has been trying to figure out, like, are they a real couple? Like, this has to be a joke. And I pray that it's real because Lunel fucking deserves. I know she's a good ass woman.
Mhm.
And I hope that I'll be sure has moved past his 90s honess and is ready to like actually have a real woman because I don't think he's ever been married.
Mm.
Um I hope they're a real thing, but like people are talking so much shit on the internet and like basically like she's not, pretty enough for him and like she doesn't deserve him. And I hope it's real. I hope that's her man and like he worships her dirty draws because people need to
Yes.
understand that it's not about how people look all the time. Like, yes, you need to be physically attracted to your person, but like none of us can say what somebody else is physically attracted to. And as long as it's another consenting adult, it's not really your fucking business.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
So I
Well,
hope
and
they're a real couple.
oh yeah, I hope they are too. And I can just say like as a bigger girl, it is like crazy how some men especially like are so worried about what society will think
Mhm.
if they're with like a plus size girl. And it's
And that's
like,
all that just lets you know that you're not man enough for me. Get the fuck out of
oh
my
yeah,
face. You're blocking
absolutely.
my man's view.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, and I've just never understood, like, so you're gonna go be with, like, boring plain Jane rather
Yeah.
than, like, actually someone who you like and, like,
Yeah.
it's so
You're
weird to me.
vibing with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're that concerned about what society like and it's 2026, we're not using gay as as a put down, but like to me that sounds like you've got to be gay because why do you give a shit what society thinks about who you're attracted to? Like it's not,
Hello.
it doesn't make sense. And I'm not saying like it's fine to be gay as long as it's a consenting adult.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be that, babes. It's
Absolutely.
fine. Nobody cares.
Mhm.
But to have that to care that much about what society thinks about your partner that you're gonna be with when nobody else is looking, like this is your person that is crazy. That's just crazy.
Crazy. And, like, I just hate too that we are so as a society, like, so fat phobic. Because it's like, back in the day, this body would be considered royalty. Like,
Absolutely.
have you seen the Greek goddess statues
Mm.
that are made from fucking
Fire.
marble? Are
Fire.
you are you seeing a rib cage on that, babe?
Fire.
Well, and it's always so funny because I have a lot of friends who will say, like, oh, yeah, like if you ever need like a good food recommendation, like Mariah knows good places
Hell
to eat.
yeah.
And I always am like, do you think you get a body like this from
From not
eating bad
eating.
food?
Yeah.
Or like from not knowing like what
Uh-huh.
good food is?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Show
you're
some
right. There's not a single Greek statue of a skinny bitch. And I tell people all the time too, they don't make songs about small butts. I don't know a single song about a girl with a small butt, not one. But I can
no.
name 5 off the top of my head about big butts right now.
Right. Well, and I do hate to like whenever you start to talk about like just being plus size inclusive anyways, and then you get all these skinny bitches like, well, sorry that I can't gain more than like 90 pounds. And it's like, bitch, no one's talking about you.
No
I
one's
know that
talking.
there are
No.
some people that are just born petite. There
Yeah.
are some people that are, yes, just gonna be born 5 feet and like maybe 105 pounds. And you know
Yeah.
what? That's fine.
Good
But
for them.
also,
Yeah.
why can't I also live in
Yeah.
this society and also be okay
Yeah.
and deemed as pretty and beautiful and all this other stuff?
Yeah.
Like, when people are like, "Oh, you're so pretty for like a big girl," and it's like,
You could have
What does that
definitely
mean?
just. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
And promise people say that. That's insane.
Mhm.
That's insane. It's the
Mhm.
same like you're pretty for a dark skinned girl. Like what?
Mhm.
What?
Like, huh?
I know Olandria got that all the time. We gotta at this point we have to make it a point to just say Olandria
Just
every
talk about
episode.
her, our queen.
Yes, queen.
Love
But I
her.
know she got that all the time. You're pretty for a dark skinned girl. Like, have you seen her bone structure?
Like,
You could just
hello.
you're pretty, period. You don't need to say anything else after that. Just stop.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and I hate too that like I feel like now whenever yeah, a white person is brought up as like, "Oh, the most attractive person." It's like, "Okay, but they've gotten work done." Like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. And it's crazy that you brought that up. Right before I hopped on to be with you tonight, I was watching this video about Robert Kardashian and this black woman that he was dating for years and years. He was dating this black woman who was an attorney, and how he couldn't like that, like basically that she was the love of his life, but that he couldn't be with her because his family wouldn't be okay with it.
Mhm.
And that just explains why all of the people in all of his children, one, are obsessed with looking like black women,
Mhm.
and all have like black babies by black people, men or women, because Rob Kardashian also has a black daughter, except for Courtney, but everyone else like is obsessed with looking like a black woman and or has a children by a black woman. I just thought that was kind of fascinating. So I didn't
Mhm.
get to finish it, but I'm definitely there was a biography that they mentioned that I was like, oh, I'm definitely going and reading that.
Well, and that's interesting that they wouldn't let I mean, cuz Chloe was married to Lamar, a black man, and then Kim was married to Kanye.
Well, no, I'm saying Rob the dad. The
Oh,
dad.
got it, got it,
The
got it.
dad.
That makes
The
more sense.
dad. So that's what I'm saying. The dad was in love with this black woman but couldn't be with her because she was black. And now all of his children have children with black people
Mm,
and or were married to black people and are obsessed with looking like black people. That's what I'm yeah.
interesting.
No, the dad. Before Chris Jenner, before, yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. There was a biography that was named. I'm definitely gonna look it up and like put it on my
Ugh,
audio book list.
imagine those genes. Rob
Hmm.
Kardashian and a black woman. Because, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm so mad that like Kim has altered her face. Because, like,
Hmm. She was
her
pretty.
she was a fucking baddie. Like
She was pretty.
Kim,
Yeah.
she was so gorge.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, and look what you did. Like,
Yeah.
and I will
Yeah. She
say,
was
because
pretty.
I know, like when she started like highlighting and contouring, and not to say that
Hmm.
she didn't have any work done, but like I don't think in the beginning she had as much as people
Right.
thought she did.
Right.
Because like if you can actually do your makeup, that can
Hmm.
change your whole facial structure. And
Hmm.
like I think she did just found a good way to do her makeup. But
Hmm.
then yeah, people would talk about like her nose being too big. So I think she got that
Hmm.
done, and like she definitely I don't even think she needed lip fillers. Like
Yeah.
some of her old photos, I'm like, "Girl, you have
She
nice
had thick lips.
lips."
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, they're
like
Armenian.
yeah, like
Yeah.
ugh.
Now, Kylie, I think it's going to be interesting to see what her kids look like as they grow up. I feel
Mhm.
like they need to be lucky that they have a black parent because Kylie doesn't even look like the same person.
Mm-mm. No.
She doesn't even look like the same person.
She does
So.
not. And like I used to think Chloe was pretty too. Like she was just a little heavier
She
than
was
the rest
thicker.
because
Yep.
and
She
she's
was
also
thick.
fucking 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she's not gonna be 115 pounds. Like,
No. Because as a 5'10" woman, I can tell you that 115 pounds, first of all, she would be dead.
yeah, like
Like
wouldn't
that
even
looks
look
crazy.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy.
Beauty standards.
All right, let's see what else we got on here. Oh, this is a totally, it's different. It's totally different and not all at the same time. Have you been seeing all the Black Panther stuff?
A little
Like,
bit, yeah.
yeah. So the very first time I saw it, and I saw this guy and he's talking big shit, and the very first thing I thought, I'm like, this is the fucking feds. That was my first thought when I saw it. Then I saw him talking about, yeah, like send me your information, like sign up here. This is definitely the fucking feds. You mean
Mhm.
sign up? Like nobody
Right,
should be signing up to go to a protest anywhere.
right.
Um, and then like, yes, the Black Panthers would be protesting for immigrants, but like I've been seeing things where like white people want to join the Black Panthers. Like, absolutely the fuck not. What timeline are we on?
Mhm.
No, y'all get your own shit and we work together. But like the whole reason that the Black Panthers don't exist right now is because white people were up in black people's business. That's why to this day there's Black Panthers in prison. Asada
Mhm.
Shakur died in Cuba, like ostracized from American society
Mhm.
because white people were in Black Panthers business. So yeah, I just thought that was wild. I was curious if you had seen it or were paying attention to it at all.
Yeah, because wasn't there like a White Panthers party back in the day?
I don't know. This would be news to me.
I think there was, but then they had to but I think they, like, changed their name eventually to, like, the Rainbow Children, and then I think that got
What?
disbanded, but yeah. Yeah,
I've
but, like,
never heard of
exactly
this.
like you said, like, why can't y'all just start your own thing and we just,
Start
like,
your own shit.
collaborate?
Yeah. The White Panthers were an American anti racist political collective founded in November 1968. Yep. No, I had heard of like the John Brown Gun Club, like, which I feel like would be along the same lines, right? Like, yes, the
Mhm.
John Brown Gun Club and Black Panthers, yes, y'all can work together. That makes sense.
Yes.
But white
Mhm.
people joining Black Panthers is insane.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
hopefully, I don't know if he's the feds or not. It just was sounding fed-ish to me. Um, but hopefully if it is real, they've learned some lessons because like I said, there's still Black Panthers in prison to this day.
Mhm.
Um, Mumia Abu Jamal is still in prison. There's still Black Panthers in prison to this day. So yeah.
I know, and that's how I feel when people are like, reform, reform, reform. I'm like, how do you reform any of this?
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to sound morbid, but like the reason why history keeps repeating itself over and over and over and over again because we don't kill the enemy. We're always like, "Oh, they'll change. They'll get better." Like, did you see the video of yeah, I think it was up north where the protests are happening, where like that neo-Nazi guy was being chased and like they're throwing water balloons at him and stuff. And it was a fucking black man who like stood up and put himself in front of like the crowd and the neo-Nazi And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Stop that
this
shit.
man is literally going around and saying that you should die. Like, you
Yeah.
should be killed just
Yeah.
based on how you look. And
Yeah.
here you are putting yourself like, no.
And that was always that's been a thing since the beginning of time, right?
Mhm,
Like, what do they
mhm.
say? Like, don't argue with people, Harriet Tubman would have shot. Like,
Right.
always been a
Well, and
thing. Like, you
wasn't
can't take everybody with you.
right. I'm trying to think. Yeah, and didn't we find out recently like J. Edgar Hoover was like black?
Yeah, I don't know how recent that was, but I've heard rumors that he was like, what did they call it back then? Like an octoroon or something. Like maybe he had like a black grandparent or something. He was definitely
Yeah.
white passing. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like, and he was in charge of the fucking FBI.
Hmm. And hated black people.
And hated
Hated. Hated with a passion. Yeah.
like, yeah. So I'm I go I know we've talked about it before, like, yeah, can you be pro black and like have white people within these realms? And like, I don't fucking know. Like,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know is the short answer, but I will say that um hmm, I want to say like Black Panthers worked with white people in the past, right? Blah blah blah, and like there were plenty of white people that like stood up during the civil rights movement and yada yada, but also there were plenty of white people who were the fucking feds.
mhm,
And like Muhammad Ali said, if there's a pit of snakes and some of them are poisonous and I don't know which ones are poisonous, then it's almost better. Like I'm just gonna avoid all snakes because I don't know. And this is such a like it times are really real, like things are intense and like there's a lot going on and don't nobody have time to be trying to figure out your intentions and what you
mhm,
have going on. If you're about the work, just do the work, and then if we happen to end up in the same space doing the same work, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But like for a
mhm,
white person to just be close to me and in my like close proximity, and it's not like a business relationship, is like for me just not a thing that I'm comfortable with in this day and age. Like because I don't have white family, right? Like so like you're just an quote unquote outsider, for lack of a better word, not trying to sound, what do you call it, xenophobic or whatever. But like I don't know if you can be trusted, and
yeah,
it's not up to me to decide that. That's up to you to do the work to make yourself be able to be trusted. Like
mhm,
plenty of black people have trusted plenty of white people throughout history, and look what it's done for us.
mhm.
You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah,
I can take it or leave it.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, and I always think in like Black Panther too, like the movie.
Mhm.
Michael B. Jordan's character is very upset that like Wakanda never stepped in for like the black community in America
Mm.
and like all that stuff. And when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, like, why wouldn't you step in if you had this great technology? Yeah, like, why wouldn't you step in and, like, give it to your people to free themselves? But then, of course, like, well, they could have easily just invaded Wakanda and taken it for themselves. So,
Well,
like,
and not only that, but even like my mom and I were talking about recently about how Burkina Faso, the African nation, where they're literally trying to take out I can't even think of his name. Traore is his last name. I can't think of his first name, but they've been trying to take him out and they're going to continue to try and take him out because he's kicked out all the colonizers, right?
mhm,
And so because Donald Trump has been doing this, well, like he's not allowing certain people from certain nations into the United States anymore. So those nations, at least in Africa, have been returning that energy. So like currently you're not allowed, like no one from America is allowed to visit certain countries in Africa because of this contentious relationship. And anyone who knows me knows that it's always been my dream to go and spend time in Ibrahim Traore, thank you. To go to Africa is like my dream trip. So I was really in my feelings about it, but also like I understand why you can't even say, well, only Black Americans are allowed. Because how many Black Americans went and like did the work of the fucking feds during Jim Crow, and you know what I mean, and went in and like came out and snitched and did. So like I understand why you can't trust us. It makes me sad. I fucking hate
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
But also, I wouldn't even encourage you to trust Black Americans right now because we can't fucking be trusted because we're white adjacent.
Mhm.
And a lot of times our behavior, we've picked up on white adjacent behaviors. And so we need to do that work as Black
Mhm.
Americans, you know,
Mhm.
anyhow.
What a time. What a time to be alive.
So many things.
So many
And it's
things.
been 2 hours already. I just never cease to not be blown away by how we just yap for 2 hours straight
How can there's a
about
lot to yap about.
all the things.
Well, I know I wanted to bring up really quickly just because like with the state of the government and everything. Um so I was looking into the kidnapping of the Venezuelan president,
Mm-hmm.
and I found this interview from one of the Maduro's guards
Mm-hmm.
talking about like when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying that like we were on guard, but suddenly all of our radar systems shut down. The
Mm-hmm.
next thing we saw were drones, a lot of drones flying over positions we didn't know how to react. The guard claimed that only a handful of helicopters followed, deploying what he estimated to be maybe 20 men. He said that the Venezuelan forces were technologically unmatched.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, are they kind of saying that this was I don't know, like were those 20 men like technologically advanced? Because they're claiming that 20 men killed like hundreds of guards. And
Like, were they clones? Is that what you? I mean,
I'm thinking like a robot, like a human with like robot parts. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, nothing at this point. Nothing would surprise me, and especially because what we know for sure is we know for sure that America, that the is it the CIA has like like there's a branch of Hollywood that's in concert with like either the CIA or the FBI, like one of the two. Like this is a fact. This isn't
Mm.
like conspiracy theory, like whatever. There's a branch of government that works in concert with Hollywood in the movie industry. Okay, we know this
Mhm.
for sure. We also know that Hollywood loves to put shit in movies that they're like actually doing, right? Like we've talked about like Wag the Dog and
Mhm.
movies like that, where it's like things that they're actually doing, but they put it in a movie and it's entertainment.
Mhm.
And I just think about when I was a kid growing up, my dad used to love movies like Total Recall and oh, what I think Arnold Schwarzenegger was in Total Recall, but he was in several like futuristic movies, like what you're describing, like that scenario that you're describing. Um, there's movies that depict that.
Yes.
So, and that's from like the 80s.
Mhm.
So it wouldn't shock me at all, is my point. I know they
Well,
shut off like all of the power. You know, your president was bragging about how like they shut off all the power. And I'm just like, if they could do that in Venezuela, then they can certainly do that here.
and that's what this
Can and
guard
would.
says.
Yeah.
The guard said, it was a massacre. We were hundreds, but we had no chance. He said, describing gunfire delivered with precision and speed, adding that it appeared as though each attacker was firing 300 rounds per minute. The
Wow.
guard also described a weapon that he could not identify, which he likened to a sonic or acoustic device. It was like a very intense sound wave, he said. Suddenly, I felt my head was exploding from the inside. We all started bleeding from the nose. Some were vomiting blood. We fell to the ground, unable to move. And he said that those 20 men like left without a single casualty.
Wow. And I don't know if you remember, but even during Ferguson, I remember that they were using some sort of sonic something on the protesters back then. Some sort of sonic weapon on the protesters back then. So, like, again, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that weapon had evolved and gotten, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Wow. I
Yeah,
haven't
so
seen any of that.
that's why I'm also kind of like, yes, I want us to fight back and everything, but like, how do you fight against a sonic wave?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, I mean, I don't know. And also, I think my biggest worry is that we start to feel overwhelmed and just don't fight back, right? And we just allow them to just do whatever they're doing because we're afraid. And like at the end of the day, we all have to die sometime. And like it would suck for it to be right now, but like also that's just the circle of life. And I just don't intend to comply in advance. I just don't. I am an unruly bitch and I come from a long line of unruly bitches.
Mhm.
So I know that it's scary times. I know that there's a lot going on, but we cross that bridge when we come to it. And like maybe we need to be thinking about like having some some sort of ear protection as a part of, you know, our go bag.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
no, yeah,
something.
something. It's scary, but like there's more of us than there are of them at the end of the day. Even if you just take somebody, like I keep saying, I know I'm not gonna survive till the end, and that's fine. I don't even want to. We've talked about this. Like I'm spoiled. If there's not gonna be hot water, I don't even want to really be there. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna take some people with me though, for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Did I send you
Yeah.
that one video and it was like a how to start like a big ass military truck?
Yeah, I don't know if you sent it, but I definitely saw it. And yes, you did. You did. Yeah, I'm like, this is good information to have.
Right, you just never know.
Because I feel like I saw some of those in Ferguson.
Yep.
Like they had those, like the Humvees or whatever they are. They had those. Yeah, no, that's good information to have. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely remember this.
Mhm. Well, and I even was like, do I gotta take it old school? Like, do I need to get back on the dating apps and like seduce Icemen and like
I've been seeing women doing that and like outing them, and I'm so here for that.
see, I don't want to out them. Like, I just
Yeah.
don't want you to exist anymore.
Yeah. Mm.
But it's like, I don't want to go to jail. Not right
Yeah.
now.
Not right now. I don't want to go to jail ever. I will literally
This
die
is
before I
all for a
willingly go to
story.
jail.
This is all for a story that I'm writing. This isn't
Fiction.
real
Yeah.
life. Yeah, this
Fiction.
is a story.
Yeah. No, I don't want to go to jail ever. I've been once. It was terrible. I have no desire to go back. I will die before I go back to jail. Don't even worry about it.
See, I will be honest, I always joke that, like, "Take me to jail, it's whatever," 'cause then I'm like,
Mm-mm.
"I'm just gonna work out and read." Um, but, yeah, I mean, I don't want to go to jail, obviously,
Jail was
but
terrible. It was terrible. I am not built for it. Not built for it. Just fucking kill me now. Honestly. Talk about being spoiled. Jail? Fuck no. Absolutely not. Is there anything else on there you wanted to hit before we hop off today?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been a rousing chat.
It has,
Let's
as
see.
always.
Yeah. All right, guys. Till next time. Bye.